I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over.
Taraji P. Henson is the kind of actress you can't help but root for. She's not just another Hollywood star, she's family. She's that auntie who always keeps it real, that big cousin who's been through some things but still holds her head high, that homegirl who made it out the struggle but never forgot where she came from. From her early days hustling for roles to becoming one of the most recognizable black actresses in Hollywood, Taraji has worked twice as hard for half the recognition. And now, after decades in the industry, she's tired of fighting for respect, tired of negotiating her worth, tired of watching people who look nothing like her get paid more, while she's expected to be grateful for whatever crumbs Hollywood throws her way. And now, she's thinking about walking away from it all. Let's talk about why Taraji is fed up, the harsh reality of being a black woman in Hollywood, and what her possible exit would mean for the next generation of black actresses. Before the red carpets, before the awards, before she became one of the most beloved black actresses in Hollywood, Taraji P. Henson was just a young girl from Southeast DC, hustling to make her dreams come true. Her story isn't just about fame and success. It's about resilience, sacrifice, and breaking barriers in an industry that wasn't built for women like her. Taraji didn't come from Hollywood privilege. She didn't have a famous last name, industry connections, or a safety net to fall back on. What she had was grit, raw talent, and an unstoppable belief in herself. This is how Taraji P. Henson rose from struggle to stardom, proving that when a black woman is determined, there's nothing that can stop her. Taraji Penda Henson was born on September 11th, 1970 in Washington, D.C. She was raised in Southeast D.C., an area that, at the time, was known for its challenges, but also its strong sense of community. Her name, Penda, means love in Swahili, a reflection of the strength and resilience passed down from her parents. Taraji's upbringing was a mix of love, struggle, and valuable life lessons. Her father, Boris Lawrence Henson, was a Vietnam War veteran who battled homelessness and personal demons, but he always made sure Taraji knew she was special. He was a big dreamer, and he passed that spirit down to her. Her mother, Bernice Gordon, was a hardworking woman who kept the family afloat as a corporate manager at the Department of Defense. Taraji watched her mother sacrifice and push through hardships, and that instilled in her an unshakable work ethic. Despite growing up in a tough environment, Taraji was full of personality, charm, and ambition. She was the girl who could turn any moment into a performance, always making people laugh and entertaining her family. And from an early age, she knew she was meant to be a star. Taraji was always a natural performer, but like many young black kids, she was encouraged to pursue a practical career. She originally enrolled at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University with the intention of studying electrical engineering, but deep down, she knew that wasn't her calling. Her heart belonged to acting. After struggling through classes that didn't inspire her, she made a bold decision. She transferred to Howard University to study theater arts. Now, anybody who knows about HBCU culture knows that Howard University is the mecca for black excellence, especially in the performing arts. Taraji thrived there, surrounded by like-minded, creative black students who shared her passion. But here's the thing, dreaming doesn't pay the bills. Taraji had to hustle to keep herself afloat. She worked as a secretary at the Pentagon during the day to make money. At night, she took a second job as a singing and dancing waitress on a cruise ship to earn extra cash. She wasn't just working to survive, she was working to invest in her dream. By the time she graduated from Howard in 1995, she was more than ready to take on Hollywood. At just 24 years old, right after graduating from Howard, Taraji found out she was pregnant. This was the moment where most people would have given up. A young, single black mother trying to make it in Hollywood. The odds were already stacked against her, and now she had a child to take care of. But instead of letting that stop her, she made a bold decision. She packed up her things, took her newborn son Marcel, and moved to Los Angeles with just $700 to her name. Think about that for a second. A single mother, fresh out of school with barely any money, moving to one of the toughest cities in the world to break into one of the most competitive industries. She wasn't just chasing a dream, she was betting her entire future on it. The first few years in LA were brutal. Taraji went on audition after audition, facing the same roadblocks that many black actresses face, casting directors who wanted her to play stereotypical roles that didn't showcase her true talent, and industry insiders who overlooked her because she wasn't Hollywood enough. But quitting was never an option. To keep food on the table, she worked as a substitute teacher while still going to auditions and chasing every opportunity that came her way. And then, in 1997, she got her first real break, a guest spot on the hit TV show Smart Guy. It wasn't a huge role, but it was a start. From there, she picked up small roles in TV shows like Sister, and The Division, slowly building up her resume. But she was still waiting for that one big role, the one that would change everything. And in 2001, she got it. For black folks, Baby Boy is more than just a movie, it's a classic. When John Singleton, the legendary director behind Boys in the Hood, was casting for Baby Boy, he was looking for a fresh face, someone who could bring authenticity, attitude, and raw emotion to the role of Yvette, the ride-or-die girlfriend of Jody, played by Tyrese Gibson. And when Taraji auditioned, there was no question, she was Yvette. She brought fire, vulnerability, and realness to the role. She captured the struggle, love, and frustration that so many black women go through in relationships. She made Yvette iconic, turning what could have been a forgettable girlfriend role into one of the most legendary performances in black cinema. When Baby Boy dropped in 2001, Taraji P. Henson became a name to remember. When you see Taraji P. Henson on screen, you see a powerhouse. She's played everything from a struggling single mother in Baby Boy to a no-nonsense music mogul in Empire. She's worked alongside some of the biggest names in Hollywood. She's given us iconic performances, stolen scenes, and made us laugh, cry, and cheer. So why is she still fighting to be paid what she's worth? Taraji has spoken openly about how Hollywood treats black women, and it's not just a personal issue, it's a systemic problem. Black actresses are consistently underpaid, even when they've put in the same amount of work, or more, than their white counterparts. She's broken it down before. When people hear that an actor got paid $5 million for a movie, they assume that money goes straight to their pocket. It doesn't. First, 40 to 50% of that check is gone immediately. Uncle Sam wants his cut. Then come the agents, managers, lawyers, and publicists who take another 30 to 40%. By the time it's all said and done, an actor might only see a fraction of what they were originally paid. So when black actresses like Taraji speak up about not getting the salaries they deserve, it's not just about money, it's about respect, longevity, and being treated fairly in an industry that loves their talent but won't invest in their success the same way they do for white actresses. And what's even worse, when black women demand what they're worth, Hollywood labels them difficult or ungrateful. Imagine giving your all to a job for decades, putting in overtime, taking on extra responsibilities, training the newcomers only to watch less experienced employees get promotions and raises that you've been denied for years. That's what it feels like to be a black actress in Hollywood. Taraji has said that despite all her success, she still has to fight to get a fair deal. She's still walking into rooms where people act like she hasn't already proven herself over and over again, and that kind of constant battle wears a person down. She's admitted that she's felt like Hollywood was stealing her joy, turning something she loved, acting, into something that felt more like a struggle than a passion. When an industry that claims to love you keeps treating you like you're disposable, at some point you start asking yourself, is this even worth it anymore? Taraji isn't just fighting for herself, she's fighting for the young black actresses coming up behind her. She knows that if she accepts less, Hollywood will keep treating black women like they're lucky just to be here. She knows that if she stays silent, then another black actress down the line will go through the same thing she did, so she's been using her voice to call for change. More black women behind the scenes, directors, producers, casting agents, and studio executives, so the industry isn't just run by people who don't understand our culture. Better pay and contract negotiations for black talent, so actors don't have to beg for what they've already earned. More solidarity among black actresses, because Hollywood will always try to play us against each other, but we're stronger together. Her fight isn't just about her paycheck, it's about making sure the door is open for the next black girl with a dream of being on screen. But the reality is, one person can only fight for so long before the weight of it all becomes too much. Let's be real, if Taraji P. Henson decides to leave acting, it would be a huge loss for Hollywood. She's one of the few black actresses who can lead a film, carry a TV show, and make any role unforgettable. But more than that, her departure would be a wake-up call, a reminder that even the most successful black actresses still aren't treated fairly, a sign that Hollywood still doesn't know how to properly support and uplift black women, a warning that if things don't change, they will keep losing black talent to industries that actually value them, and the the truth is, she doesn't need Hollywood as much as Hollywood needs her. Taraji has always been about owning her power. She started her own businesses, she's investing in black stories, and she's finding ways to create without having to ask for permission. So if she walks away, she'll be just fine. The real question is, will Hollywood be? Taraji P. Henson's frustrations with Hollywood aren't just her story. They're the story of every black woman who has had to fight twice as hard for half the recognition. Her experience is the same as the black woman in corporate America who keeps getting passed up for promotions. The black mother working multiple jobs, making sure her kids have opportunities she never did. The black entrepreneur trying to build something for her community while the system makes it harder every step of the way. Her struggle is our struggle, and whether she stays or walks away, her message is clear. Black women deserve better. Better pay, better treatment, better opportunities. And if Hollywood won't give it to them, then maybe it's time for black women to build their own industry where they don't have to ask for respect, they just take it.